The next thing I remember is like my little brother in the hallway. And he's on the phone with my dad. My dad's the only other sober one in my entire family. And my family's all drug addict, alcoholic losers. And my dad is sober, but he's just a dick now. And we don't even talk. And I was like, this, 31-year-old prison shot call now. And I'm like, I remember yelling at my brother, like, why are you calling dad? Don't tell dad, And he's like, do you even know what happened? And I was like, I don't know what happened. All he told me is that I overdosed. The doctor comes in next too, and he tells me that I was full on dead when they found me, no heartbeat, no anything. They had to give me 7 shots of Narcan to get me back heart beating. My heart, by the time they got me to the hospital, was only beating 6 beats a minute.
Oh my gosh.
6 beats a minute. Think of that, 10 seconds in between heartbeats. The only reason I lived is because God kept me here.
Right.
There's no other explanation for it. And then when you find out who saved me, it's even crazier. And I still don't even believe in God at this point. So then I find out my ex-girlfriend's sister is the one that found me. And she went to go tanning. She said she parked at the tanning salon, got out of the car, walked up to the door, and she said the second she put her hand on the door, something told her to go home. She turns around, goes to go home to take a nap, and finds me dead in the bathtub, purple. She said it was the worst because I was huge, so she couldn't even pick me up. So I was upside down in the bathtub the entire time. She couldn't even move me until the paramedics got there. And they saved my life, and been sober 10 years since then. And the next 5 years, I made $2 million. And
doing what?
Real estate, crypto, sold a couple houses. Just getting involved. When you realize that, like, it sounds cliche, but I mean, you can literally do anything in the world you want.
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't have anything. Like, I should have been dead 20 times over with an 8th grade education. And I'm not even somewhat smart. But I'm just proof, like, if you just don't give up, like, you can do anything. And you don't have to be smart now because you have a phone. So as long as you have smart friends, you don't have to be smart yourself, And, so I got in the car business, started killing it, making $200-300 grand a year. Did that for 4 or 5 years, and then decided to walk away. I had $1 million house, a bunch of money saved up, and I was just like, I know I'm meant to do more than sit here and do this shit, And I didn't like my job either. I was like kind of paid to rip off people, like finance managers, like you make bank, but it's because you're selling air, And I honestly had a problem with that, Like I had a couple of my last customers were single mothers, and I was like, my mom would have done this exact same shit. She made the comment to me, like, I remember this too, like it was yesterday. She's like, I can't really afford that payment, but I guess I have to, so I'll figure it out. And I'm like, God, my mom would have said the exact same thing, and then missed the payment, had, and got the car repossessed. We had cars repossessed growing up, And I was like, I remember that time I ripped up her contract. I lowered her payment like $100 for it, which took money out of all the money that I was going to make. And I was like, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm like, I can't live a good sober life, and then be ripping people off at work. But I didn't know what to do, and I never done anything else, So I just like.
So I just really quick, because you have this. You died, right? You came back, and then from there you were like, I'm going to get clean. I'm not doing that.
So I'm sorry, I skipped over the part. Yeah, I was in the hospital bed, and I remember thinking it was like. Went from like so black and white. I went from thinking like, why did I survive? Why couldn't I have just died? Because I always wanted to die, but I would never kill myself because of my mom. But my hope back then was like I'd overdose one time and it was an accident, So I remember going from that thought in my head, and then this was like my God moment. I don't even believe in God, and then like literally like I want to say like you see in the movies, like a light bulb goes off in my head. It's like someone says, just get sober and figure your life out. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like thinking. Drinking has been so much fun, and been so much fun pulling chicks and stuff, you know what I mean? And because you got to remember, like when you get out, I'm 30, I still have an 18-year-old mindset, like literally. So I'm still an 18-year-old kid. I have a 30-year-old body, but that's it. And I'm probably less than 18 because 18 with a convict prison institutionalized mindset now. You know what I'm saying? Like I was 24-hour-a-day lockdown, like, and I just had no idea what to do. And God, I'm sorry, I just completely.
Well, so we were just talking about how you just were like.
Oh yeah, sorry. So God moment, I'm like just gonna get sober. So then, no joke, I was like. My dad flew out, and I was going to go back to South Dakota with him. He lives out in the middle of nowhere, and just go to a bunch of AA meetings and figure out how to get sober and try and figure this shit out, But I'm like, at least I owe it to myself one time. I'm going to try and get sober and figure this out, and not drinking. And I'm thinking right then, I'm like, whatever. At least I'm going to have no fun, but hopefully I can at least try and make something of myself. I at least got in to sell cars. So like my co-defendant was the finance director. So at least he said, when I get sober, I can come back and he'll get me an interview with the gym. He could probably hire me to sell cars. So I went there and met with the gym after I got 30 days sober, and then went back out to Arizona, just stayed with my dad up there for 30 days, went to meetings every day and just talked and just try to make a plan for what to do with life, When I'm 31, it's so crazy, it was 9 years ago, and still never made $1, it's crazy to me. And And then I go out to Marquia, start selling cars, get sales for the month, and make 10 grand my first month ever working, get within finance in 13 months. I had my own office. Like my last parole visit, I pulled up in a brand new Raptor that I bought off the floor room at Chapman Ford, and just never looked back. And then just try to help people. So that's when I quit my job. And then I like 5 years that I quit the job, then I start. And what's crazy, then I quit my job, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I just saved up some money. I was like, I saw enough people, these dudes on Instagram. I was like, dude, if these dorks can all figure this shit out, there's no chance I'm not going to figure this out, you know? So I just started trying to meet with so-and-so and so-and-so and connect this dot and that dot, and then launch the podcast. And then next month, a Vice TV producer reaches out to me, and then Vice does a whole TV show about me. And then an author sees the Vice show and then wants to write a book. So we did a book and just been rolling everything together. Now I end up developing curriculum. I teach in prisons and stuff now all over, and I travel all over to speak to prisons and jails now. And it's like, I was kicked out of prison for literally being a screw up and being too violent in prison. This is what I would say, like, so SSU are like the gang, like they're called like gang detectives in there. Okay, so if you're gonna get in trouble for anything in prison, it's SSU staff that always gets you. And I remember my last, when I was in that hole for the last 11 months in solitary confinement, I remember telling them, like, dude, I just did 12 years in prison. Like, you can't expect me to go from not only 12 years in prison, but solitary confinement and 12 years in prison to the streets and make something of myself. But that's how naive it was, like thinking they care, you know? And he's like, literally told me verbatim, he's like, dude, we're done with you. He's like,
And they didn't care, right?
Flat out verbatim, his next words to Mr. Meyerhoff, we are so done with you. It said, we're gonna let the streets have their luck with you. But you're gonna sit in the cell until you go home. Like, you're never getting out of the cell until you go home. And I was like, all right.
You legit did not leave that cell?
No, until I went home.
Wow.
Do you know stats on
recidivism rate?
Yes.
Like 87%. 87%.
And
almost 90%.
Is that intentional too? Because that's all they know?
Yeah, they don't know. Well, then not to mention that, you get out, like, if you don't have your license, it takes 2 months to get a license. Like, luckily I had a little brother who would drive me around, stuff like that, but who has that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have that, like, you're just setting yourself up for failure. So that's what I do. Like, my curriculum is like, gives them a lot of like stuff to work on while they're getting out, and they can start working on getting their license back, credit stuff. We teach them all kind of stuff before they get out, because like, if you have a plan, I mean, they have nothing but time in there to do. So if you do have a plan, like, you can legit help people. But what else makes a difference is like, they're so easily impressioned in there. Like, everybody just wants to be gangster, and I want to be the biggest gangster, and this killer, this and all that stuff. It's like, when you see someone that from the farthest, I had the farthest odds ever to be in a shot caller in prison. You know, like from Awatuki, long blonde hair, I used to model. But when you see someone do that and then risk catching life sentences, and like, because anybody that did prison time in Arizona knows my name and knows what I did, like, and then you can see me now, like, I'm telling you, all that stuff's bullshit. What's cool is like finding God and changing your life. And like, now my podcast is, I had 1 million downloads just in prisons last year. So my podcast is in every prison tablet across the entire country. I'll show like 5 to 10 DMs every single day from someone just saying, like, my podcast just got them through their prison sentence. I just got out yesterday. Oh my God, thank you so much. And
So you're providing hope.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you're educating them on how they can make it outside.
And showing what's possible, because we don't even know this is possible. That's the biggest thing, is we didn't know this was possible. If they told me it was possible to make 6 figures a month and get a sales job, I would have been shooting for that when I was in there, and I would have been more hopeful for the streets.
Right.
They don't even tell you it's possible.
Right.
Which is why, like, I had to do this, and that's why, I mean, when I quit my job, it's just different, because like, I come from such a shitty family with no money. Nobody has anything. You know, I'm making 350 grand a year out of prison. Like, when I said I was gonna quit my job, like, I'm not even joking. Like, I had family members I never even heard of. Like, your dad said you're thinking about quitting your job. You cannot quit your job. I'm not even talking to these people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you don't know what I'm going through. Like, yes, I'm not doing this stuff anymore, you know?
Yeah.
But, and then look what God does me after that, you know? And that's why I would say, like, but you're never gonna get blessed if you're half-assing 2 different things, you know?
Yeah.
So how did you find God?
In that hospital bed. And then I'm still learning as we speak right now. So like, I just believed in him that time because I knew that. But after that, I never went to church, and I still didn't know. And to be honest, I was still, I would say 75% thinking God is real, 25% thinking he's not. I feel bad even saying this, but I'm still 99% think he's real. There's a part of me that thinks this is all bullshit, you know?
Who was it that touched the door and then went home and found you?
My ex-girlfriend's little sister.
You know where that came from, right?
God.
Yeah. There's no
sure.
doubt about that.
Yeah. And there's another few things, like, because I'm 99%, like, I do believe in everything in me, you know, like, I just now started, like, I pray in the morning, I pray at night, like, my new routine now is I'm in the sauna, I read my little Bible verse, and I do a little prayer after that, you know, but like, I'm just trying to learn. I've never even opened the Bible, so I don't even know what to do, but I'm just trying to learn more, and I do fully believe that the more praise I give him and let my ego go, the more good stuff happens to me too. So I just try to give God blessings and all that stuff. Like, people are like, you're killing him. I'm like, dude, it's God, I understand, amen, you know?
Yeah.
You, like, what I think was great about what you're doing is that you're giving hope to everybody that's in prison, right? And showing them that there's another way. I would imagine, right, not knowing, but there's just a lot of hopelessness, like, in there.
Beyond that. Like, you think, like, some of the guys don't even care if they get out or not. They're in there just shooting dope, getting high the whole time when they get out. When they get out, their life sucks even worse. Like, it's real hard. And you have to worry about putting a roof over your head. Like, I always say this, prison's easy, especially for a guy like me. If you're tough, like a badass dude, like, it's, seriously, it sucks you don't have your family or anything, but, like, it's easy as hell to go sit in a cell and just have my little youngster do my laundry, clean the cell for me, cook me my food, and do all that stuff. But it sucks, but it's easy.
Yeah.
This is like the real work. It's hard out here, you know. Especially being a parent, you have to be a dad. So, like I said, I talk about all that stuff, but I'm even more proud than working with inmates, just like trying to make people be good parents and be good dads. You know, I know how huge it is having both parents, and you know, my wife didn't have a dad at all.
So let's talk about that, because at what point did you meet her, and how did the family come about?
Crazy. So,
and I'm so curious to know how you attracted her.
Yeah, so it's funny. I used to do content, but there's a gym up in Scottsdale called 5 Star. My buddy owns a gym, so they have like really good LED lights. So anytime, like once a month for my content days, I would go to the shoot content there in the morning, and then do podcasts in the afternoon up there because my studio is right across the street from it. But it's like semi-private, so everybody's working out with a trainer there, and it's like the end of my workout, and I see her come walking. She's 6'1" too, so like. I was like, and I always make a joke like, who is that Amazon-looking chick, you know? and then I look over, she's doing some warm-up stuff, and she's like gliding, and I was like, holy shit, and she's athletic too. But it was like the end of my workout, so I like left, and I'm not even joking. I went to the 5 Star Instagram page, and I'm like looking for any black faces right here, and I was like, who is it? I'm gonna find out who that is. Couldn't find anything of it, thought nothing of it. I was like, no freaking way. And I seriously, I asked a couple people, and they didn't know who she was, and thought nothing of it. 2 months later, and keep in mind, we both live, my old house was on Ray and Price, and she was on Chandler and Price. And then a few months later, I go up to a gym to do content up in North Scottsdale at Glory Gains off the literally Rain Tree in the 101. Who's in the lobby?
There she is.
Her. And I walked right up to her. I was like, dude, I've been looking for you, you know, got her information. You know what's funny is I was just looking for another dog to get my dog to play with. And we were talking, she took her dog to like a doggy daycare all day long. And I was like, and you live right by, I'm like, no, bring your dog over, come over, like we'll watch a movie or something like that. We can swim or hot tub, bring your dogs. Yeah.
Dogs and the kids.
Yeah. Man. So we always say the story is she came over that night, her dog came over, and her dog never went back home.
So what was her response when you went up to her?
She was flattered, like, and yeah, she grew up LDS too, was All-American volleyball player, got a master's degree, like complete polar opposite to me.
Yeah.
And what's funny is she never even had a serious boyfriend ever in her life. So never cooked a meal for a guy or anything. So like I was the first guy for the family to meet too. And it's me. And she's the baby of the family too. And her mom's the athletic director for ALA right there in Queen Creek. And meeting her mom was really cool. You know, I'm not scared of anything, you know. And Thanksgiving though was like crazy awkward. I walk in the house and like 60, 70 Mormon family, like Thanksgiving, I'm sure you guys are well aware, but I walk in the house. Within 5 minutes of being there, you know, 10 people have already asked me for my story. And I'm like trying to get some food. So we kind of have this whole thing. And I'm not joking, the entire house, like up in the front, like I can't even get to the back of the house, you know? And I'm like, how about this? Can I like eat some food real quick? And then like you guys can all sit here and then like I'll tell you guys like my story or like you guys, but no joke, they wanted to full on interrogate me. Like they were open about it and everything. And I was literally like, can I just eat? And then you guys can, you know, do whatever, and then we can ask questions, or I can give you guys like a 2-minute crash course on it, and then you guys can ask me questions afterwards if you want. Like, I don't know how you guys want to handle this or something, you know? Like, yeah, that works. They're like, just tell us your story for 2 minutes, you know, then we have some questions, you know? So
this is like, this is the parents? Who is this?
Everybody. Just the mom, because no dad, but then her, you know, aunts and uncles and all that stuff, and her siblings, you know.
They want to know who their daughter and...
I mean, her one brother's 6'10", was a McDonald's All-American that coaches basketball at ALA, and then the other one's 6'7", plays football at BYU. Like, yeah, they're huge. And it just went great though. Like, I'm serious. Like, and they were just like, just really receptive. Like, thought it was awesome. And they're just like the greatest people I've ever met. Like, I'm seriously cannot believe they're in my family now. You know, and it's like, awesome. It honestly helped me cut off my family a lot because like I'd always like it's like holding on with a thread to my family just to have some type of family there. You know, and it's just like now that I saw this, I'm like, dude, I'm out. You know,
you were how old at this time?
This was 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.